From a 3-minute fight that changed the UFC to many more predicted victories, here's what Jon Jones's career looks like after destroying Ciryl Gane. First off, the UFC world has been left stunned. The legend has returned, and he's taken down someone I definitely didn't think could be taken down so easily, and that too in only 3 minutes. So you can guess just how upsetting that game was for some. He's written himself into the history books. Everyone's gonna be talking about this for years to come. That's great for Jones, but sucks for poor Gane, who, by the way, wouldn't have seen this coming in his wildest nightmares. Jones has also now cemented himself as arguably the greatest UFC fighter of all time. And is anyone gonna question that? I mean, we all saw what happened to Gane, and I doubt anyone's gonna be brave enough to face him. Imagine he does worse than he did to Gane. How would that even look? An upset in 2 minutes? If I were in that guy's place, I'd never show my face in public again. But that hasn't happened yet, and Gane is already showing his face again because he's got to get up and dust himself off to show how good he is again.
Well, I started training with Henry over a year ago, and I just happened to be in town actually. My kids had a volleyball tournament here in town, and I thought I'd.
Meanwhile, the 35-year-old who's made history returned to the octagon in a stunning fashion, and he wasted no time in taking Gane down. It was just a first-round submission, you guys. Like, have you ever thought this would happen? The game ending in 3 minutes. I feel bad for all those people in the crowd who purchased all those tickets to watch their favorites fight each other. And I feel worse for Gane fans. Jones took him down to the canvas and up against the fence, where he very quickly got his wrist under the Frenchman's chin in an incredibly tight chokehold. And as you all know now, it was a nasty choke. It was so bad that it forced Gane to tap out almost immediately, and that was all she wrote. So now, the former light heavyweight champion is the undisputed heavyweight champion. He's also just the 8th fighter to conquer 2 UFC divisions. He suddenly started doing insanely well for himself, no? Who would have thought? Also, he's become the first fighter to win 15 UFC championship fights. Honestly speaking, nobody had any idea how he was gonna do in the cage. He hasn't fought since 2020 and packed on some serious weight to move up to heavyweight. But of course, nothing's been difficult for him, it looks like. And after Francis Ngannou left the heavyweight title by leaving the UFC, Jones is suddenly a champion again. He's also improved his record to 21-1-0, and he's never lost a UFC fight. So, are you even surprised that he won this one? Heck no! But he won it in 3 minutes, and that's what everyone can't stop talking about. This win is only gonna strengthen his claims of being the greatest fighter of all time, and it looks like there's plenty of life left in him. He honestly doesn't look like he's gonna stop in a while, definitely not after that win, and like all of you were left stunned by the ease of Jones's win. No matter how much he could have tried, there was nothing he could have done. The second he got into that chokehold, he was a defeated man, and that's not something we can easily say about Gane. Even the UFC commentator John Anik,
yeah, special is the right word. I think it's going to be emotional for all of us. I mean, even Khabib Nurmagomedov's manager Ali
commented on it that he still looked shaken. He still looked in total disbelief that he'd lost the fight in 3 minutes. The win was even more impressive because Jones had to remove the tape from his foot as he was entering the octagon, and then comped a kick to the groin just a second into the fight. It was the only blow Gane managed to land. The rest of the game, which wasn't long, he spent being choked by his UFC daddy. It's impressive because winning the game, even after being kicked in the jewels, requires some massive, guts. And after that, he even accused Gane of taking the opportunity too lightly. So he's gonna win against him inside the cage, but he's also gonna destroy him outside. And it did look like Gane was taking it too lightly. And when it came to performing, Jones made it look very easy when he applied pressure from the beginning, pun intended, which is why he forced Gane to tap after squeezing in a very hot guillotine off his first takedown. Jones was obviously very happy after the game.
I've never enjoyed being out there as much as I enjoy it now. There's a confidence, there's a peace that I carry with me today that makes everything.
And thanked God for his win. He also thanked the prayer warriors, his family, team, and his fans. He also told everyone about his strategy, saying he aimed to get Gane on the ground. And once he did that, he felt comfortable, because no way was he gonna let him go then, huh? He was the spider, and he'd finally gotten the poor little fly inside its web. And that's when he attacked him. But he wasn't just attacking Gane inside the cage. He wasn't gonna let go of anyone at that point, so he targeted Stipe too. Stipe Miocic,
he's an amazing ambassador. Love the guy. I have no ill will towards him. I know we had our thing for the trilogy, but I think that's what makes it better. No, he's a tough dude. I'm using a kick more. try to check those more. I knew
who's widely considered the greatest heavyweight in the UFC, was sitting with the crowd that evening, and Jones made sure to call him out. He said to the crowd, "Y'all want to see me beat up Stipe?" Before walking off, Jones ended the interview with a goat like bah, because he's the GOAT, you know? He's established that himself now. No arguments, just accept it.
I study everybody extensively, and then I come up with their patterns. I figure out.
Because Dana White has accepted it, he's reflected on Jon Jones's title win, saying that his victory wasn't a surprise to anyone who's been following the athlete's career.
You've seen this enough time from enough fighters. Knowing these personalities, how do you think that will manifest itself in tomorrow's main event?
Was it a surprise for you? Were you holding your breath once Gon was on the ground, forcefully holding his breath himself?
First and foremost, you know what's coming. I gotta give thanks to my Lord and Savior.
Well, White wasn't. He knew exactly what was gonna happen. And it did happen.
If given the chance.
I'm tired of traveling. I don't even want to go, to New York. So no, I probably don't want to go to the moon.
There's a reason he's the president of the UFC. Because let's look at the stats. Jones has been a dominant force in the UFC for years, and White expects him to continue to be a top contender for years to come. But White also acknowledged the challenge that Jones faced in his career, which includes his struggles outside the ring. And despite all the troubles, he's shown just how great of a player he is. That bah does make all the sense in the world. So despite all the challenges, he's gonna show the world what his career's gonna amount to.
Yeah, I felt like my candle for the light heavyweight blew out. My last fights were getting pretty close.
White believes that Jones is a talented and dedicated athlete who's earned his place in the UFC. Looking ahead, White also does not doubt that Jones is gonna continue to compete at the highest level and will also win more fights in the UFC.
There, just like every other fight though. I mean, both these guys are getting hit. Less than 2 minutes here to go round one.
But win exactly the way he did against Gon? Who knows? He might even break his record. Dana also expects other fighters to step up and challenge Jones for his title.
You know what still bothers me a little bit are the Heath bars. The Heath bars still bother me a little, yeah. Yep.
We done with Candy forever? This is like a life.
I'm done. This is the rest of my life. Yeah, I will.
This is going to create even more exciting matchups in the coming years. I just hope it's just going to be worth the money that people are going to pay and not end in 3 minutes. As for Ciryl Gane, he's now 0-2 in undisputed UFC title fights after his loss to Jones.
We did, of course. But the biggest feeling is really angry about myself. Really angry because
while his future in the UFC is uncertain, Gane is still a talented athlete who will most likely continue to compete at a high level too. I personally want to see how he bounces back after this upsetting defeat. But no matter who lost, this one for sure was an exciting match. Well, that's it from my end about what Jon Jones's career would look like after destroying Ciryl Gane.